Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let me start the session. So today we'll try to focus on SAP Web ID development. So what all we have done in Web ID, all those things I want to do it in Business Application Studio. Till now we have done several things in Web ID, all those features, all those screen elements, classes, properties, methods, event handlers, formatter functions, manifest configuration, CSS concept, everything I want to test it in Business Application Studio. Okay, so let me write this here. SAP Business Application Studio. End-to-end SAP Fiori app development by consuming OData service. We'll focus on Business Application Studio and we'll try to develop end-to-end Fiori app development by consuming OData service. That means technically we're going to develop SAP Fiori end-to-end application by consuming OData service using SAP BAS tool. Developing Fiori front-end end-to-end app by consuming OData service using Business Application Studio. For example, I want to create a simple form. I want to create a simple form with collection of labels and screen elements. I want to create simple form with collection of labels and screen elements. This I want to do it in Business Application Studio. And I want to fetch and display data under list screen element. I want to fetch and display data in list screen element. This I want to do it in Business Application Studio. I want to fetch and display data in table screen element with backend records via OData service. I want to fetch and display data in table screen element with backend records via OData service. I want to fetch and display data in table with formatter functions. I want to fetch and display data in table with help of formatter functions. Similarly, fetch and display data in table based on filter inputs. Fetch and display data in table based on filter inputs. I want to fetch and display data in microchart with backend records via OData service. Fetch and display data in microchart with backend records via OData service. Similarly, I want to fetch and display data in charts with backend records via OData service. Not only microcharts, we can also use charts. All these things I want to do it in Business Application Studio. Similarly, not only fetching and displaying, I want to insert. I want to insert data, update data, delete data via ODAT service. From Fiori front-end application. Not only fetching and displaying data, I want to go for insert, delete, update operations also via ODAT service. This also I want to do it in Business Application Studio. Similarly, I want to insert header plus item records via ODAT service from Fiori front-end application. Then I want to perform file upload and file download, file preview operations via ODAT service. File upload, file download, file preview operations via ODAT service from Fiori front-end app. I want to display, for example, HTML feature. I want to display HTML features in SAP Fiori app. I want to display screen elements with style class. That is by using CSS. I want to display screen element with style class, that is through CSS. And similarly, I want to display labels, text or column labels, description, etc. from i1a10.properties file. I want to display labels, text, column labels, description, etc. from i1a10.properties file. And I want to display screen elements using various layouts. Display screen elements using various layouts. And I want to apply validations. That means front-end validations in Fiori app. So you take anything, but it remains same. What all we have done? We have done several other things. Whatever we have done in SAP Web ID tool, the same code I want to test it in Business Application Studio. Whether we can experience the same type of output or not, whether these features will work or not, classes, properties, methods, events, coding, syntax, architecture. So we'll try to cross-check whether developer point of view, both the tools are same or not. So what all code we have written for all these things, the same code we are going to use it in Business Application Studio in today's session. But let me give a simple note at this level. Code, syntax, approach, and MVC architecture. Then project folder structure. Files, OData concept. So the usage of syntax, approach, architecture, coding, project file structure, and OData service usage, etc. All these are same. All are same like what we have done in SAP Web ID. All these are same for SAP BAS tool, like what we have done in Web ID tool. It can be coding, syntax, approach, architecture, project, folder structure, or the list of files, OData services. The usage of all these things are technically same even for Business Application Studio, similar to Web ID tool. Okay, so how to start Business Application Studio? Let me write the step-by-step procedure. Step 1, you can enter your trial account. You can log into SAP BTP account. So you can use this account. You can log into trial account by using this URL, cockpit.hanatrial.ondemand.com. So if the account is created in your case according to previous steps, then you can use this URL. You can go to trial account and you can go to instances and you can open Business Application Studio. Or you can directly select Business Application Studio here. You can see this. Go to that, log in, then select SAP Business Application Studio. If you enable BAS tool for your account, when you enable subscription for BAS tool according to previous session, then you will get this Business Application Studio link. You can directly go to that. Or else you can go to trial account. You can go to trial account and then go to sub account here. Go to sub account. And go to instances here. You can go to instances and subscriptions and select SAP Business Application Studio. You can open BAS tool from here also. In my case, BAS tool is already subscribed, so I can open from here. Or you can directly go to this link. If it is asking for login details, just try to log in and select Business Application Studio. Okay, so let me go to this. In my case, it's already subscribed. So let me select this directly, Business Application Studio here. So just click on OK. Now here, first time try to create a dev space. If the dev space is already available, you'll get a different screen. In my case, dev space is not available, so let me create. Okay, just start dev space. In last session, I told you how to create dev space. You can directly start dev space if it is already created. Otherwise, you can click on create dev space here. Provide dev space name. If the dev space is created according to last session, then the dev space will appear automatically. Otherwise, you can create by selecting SAP Fiori option and click on create. Okay, so it will try to create the dev space. It will take 2-3 minutes. So it is going to start the dev space here. In your case, you can directly start dev space. Then select dev space option. Then it opens SAP BAS tool. That's how you can start Business Application Studio. Here there is a delete option for dev space. There is pause option, start option, download option. You can see all those things right side. In my case, I've created a separate dev space here with type SAP Fiori. Okay, now you can see the dev space is created and the status is running. So if the dev space is already available, that dev space will appear here. And you will get a start button here. You can start and stop the dev space here. There's an option. There's an option here to start and stop dev space. After starting dev space, then click on this. Then it opens Business Application Studio. All your projects will be created in this dev space. The start and stop option for dev space. Okay, so let me click on this. Now the status is running. Let me click on this. Vijay Fiori dev space. Just click on OK. Now it opens Business Application Studio. So you'll get this screen. This is a welcome screen for Business Application Studio. You can see that. Now what we'll do is we'll try to create a project. So this is a welcome screen for Business Application Studio. You can create an application through template and you can use left side options here to create your project. So from this icon, you can just get all the options. Whatever options you find in WebID, you can get those options by selecting this left side icon. This is BAS tool welcome screen. Okay, so what we'll do is step 2. Create SAP Fiori project in SAP BAS tool. Create Fiori project in BAS tool. So let me do that here. So you can see there is an icon left side. Go to File, New Project from Template. This option that is available in WebID, the same option is available in BAS tool. So you can select this, go to File, New Project from Template. So when you select New Project from Template, you'll get this screen. Here you can select SAP Fiori application. You can create Fiori application by using Fiori elements, or you can create by using freestyle approach. You can create Fiori application by using Fiori elements with limited features, or you can create Fiori application with unlimited features by using a freestyle approach. Fiori elements will come across at the end of the course, not now. So you can create a Fiori application by using Fiori elements or by using Fiori freestyle approach. Today we'll try to go with freestyle approach. At the end of the course, we'll be going with Fiori elements with 1 or 2 examples. Right, so let me select SAP Fiori application here. So select File, New Project from Template. Then select SAP Fiori application. Select this and click on Start. The Start option, click on this. Now here you have to select application type as UI5 freestyle. Within Fiori app, there is 2 categories, with Fiori elements, with freestyle templates. So today we'll focus on UI5 freestyle. At the end of the course, after completing OData and all those things, we can go with Fiori elements. So as of now, let me go with UI5 freestyle here. And let me select SAP Fiori worklist template. This right side one is master detail template. Left side is worklist template and right side template is master detail template. You can start with any template, it doesn't matter. Let me select worklist template to simulate all our features similar to WebID. So select application type, SAP UI5 style. And select the template, SAP Fiori worklist template. Within UI5 freestyle, you have to select SAP Fiori worklist template. Click Next here. Now you need to connect your OData service by using service destination, which is configured according to the last session. Here you select data source as connect to a system. Select data source as connect to a system, and in our case EH7 service destination is created in BTP environment. So that EH7 will appear here. This EH7 will connect to Cloud Connector will connect to backend server, and you can consume OData service. It's again the same story. So I'm selecting system as EH7. Now it opens service catalog. It opens service catalog and you will get list of OData services if the server is up and running. So now you can see we're able to get the same list of OData services. Whatever OData services we used to get in WebID, all the same OData services are also visible in Business Application Studio. These are all OData services coming from SAP backend server. We are able to connect to backend server by using EH7 service destination. From BAS tool, it will utilize BTP environment to connect to Cloud Connector. Cloud Connector connects to backend server. If the connection is successful, you'll get list of OData services here. Same like service catalog in WebID. Okay, let me consume the service that is Z8 AM OData project SRV. So that service is available. This is a service we used in WebID. Let me select the same service here. So click next, select data source as connected to system and select system as EH7. That is a service destination. In this example, that means this EH7 service destination connects to BTP, and then BTP connects to BTP typically connects to Cloud Connector. This I've already explained in the last session. I've repeated 3 to 4 times how the connection is established, and Cloud Connector connects to backend server. If you provide connection properties of S4HANA, it will connect to that. If you provide connection properties of ECC, it will connect to that backend server. So technically, service destination, BAS tool will use service destination to connect to BTP. BTP will connect to Cloud Connector. Cloud Connector finally connects to backend server. It can be ECC or S4HANA. Okay, let me take that screenshot here. So in this case, EH7 service destination. Service destination from BAS tool. It basically connects to SAP BTP, Business Technology Platform. BAS tool EH7. I'm explaining according to our system ID EH7. So BAS tool EH7 service destination connects to BTP environment. BTP connects to SAP HANA Cloud Connector. And SAP HANA Cloud Connector connects to SAP original backend server. These configurations, we have done it in the last session. Backend server, it all depends. If you provide connection properties of ECC, it will connect to that. If you provide connection properties of S4HANA, it will connect to that. It all depends on which connection properties you provide. Accordingly, it will connect. So this is the most important thing when you're connecting from BAS tool to backend server. Just remember this. BAS tool EH7 is a service destination. It will utilize BTP environment to connect to Cloud Connector. Cloud Connector connects to backend server. Very simple. Then OData services will be loaded. You can select one of the service and you can proceed same like WebID. right? So let me click next here. Okay, so select OData service. So this is a service we have selected. You can click next here. Now, by default, a table is created, same like what we have discussed in Web ID, and table is created by configuring entity set here. So I'm selecting EMP set here, that's entity set. And you can select some of the fields like user ID, first name, salary, country, etc. These are the OData fields. So by default, in first screen, a table is created. For that reason, this configuration is required. Same like Web ID. This is same like Web ID configuration. So object collection. You can select entity set, in our case, EMP set. Select collection key. Example, user ID. Object ID, you can make it like another field. If you want, you can use the same field. These are the OData fields. Object number, salary, unit of measure. So let me click next here. This type of configuration we have done at the time of creating a project in Web ID also. The same options are available in BAS tool. So these are OData fields here. Then click next. You need to provide project name, description, namespace. Those things you can provide here. For example, Vijay Theory project. Vijay Theory project 1, something like that. So module name, that's technically project name. So you can provide application title, namespace. Everything is same like what we have done in Web ID. Description. And then there will be other options. If you want, you can utilize, otherwise you can ignore. Let me select configure advanced options also. Let me click yes here. So the next screen, we are providing module name. Module name is technically project name. Something like this. And then we are providing application title. Namespace. Then description. And if you want, you can select one option here, that is configure advanced options as yes, not mandatory. There's no and S option here. Let me just select S and click finish here. So now the project will be created, and along with that project, all the files, folders, view files, controller files, property files, manifest file, formatter file, everything will be created. So what you do is just select add project to workspace here. Okay, click finish and select add project to workspace. There's a option here, add project to workspace. Click that. Then it will try to open your project with all files, folders, etc. There will be some other files which are not really required for us, but here you can see web app folder is important. In web app folder, you can see view files and formatter file. You can see metadata.xml file, property file, controller files, and there is a manifest.json file. You can see that index file, manifest.json file, everything will be available. So all the important files will be same like your normal web ID. We are doing it in Business Application Studio, but all the file names, the important file names and the folders will be same like your normal web ID. You can see here. There's nothing new here. Our project is added to workspace. You'll get all the controllers, property files, metadata XML file, formatter file, view files, index file, manifest.json file. If you want, you can add CSS file. Everything will be same. And the view file names are also same. You can see object view, work list view, object controller, work list controller. Everything is same. Okay, so add project to workspace. Now what you can do is, I want to add all the features, all the code, whatever code we have implemented in web ID, I want to do it here. But there is one slight change that you need to adopt. What you do is, first time, go to manifest.json file. You have to change one option. There is one option like flex enabled. You try to make it false. So here there is manifest.json file. It's a configuration file. SAP UI file. By default, flex enabled is true. So it's better you make this as false. That's the only change you need to adopt. The remaining things are same like web ID. Just use flex enabled as false. And you can go to this file and save it. Flex enabled false. We are trying to do it in manifest.json file. Otherwise, you may get compatibility issues. So it's better to do this. Right, so let me just copy this line. Let me highlight this. Manifest.json file, change this property, flex enabled to false. Save. Now what happens here? All the required files and folders are auto-generated now. In SAP BAS tool, similar to SAP Web ID tool. Exactly similar to Web ID tool. The project structure, the file names, everything. Now what we can do is step 3. We can open object view.xml file. and register all the required libraries. Same on top section of a view. If you want, you write one by one, step by step, line by line. If you want, you can write it, but there is no point in writing once again because it's the same code. Let me copy that. Just open object view.xml file, register all the required libraries on top section of a view. If you want, you write line by line from here onwards, or else take the code from WebID and try to use it here, especially for testing purpose. Right. So what I'll do is I'll try to take all the lines from WebID tool. I've taken the code from WebID. Let me open that here. All the libraries. Here you can see SAP UI core, layout, microchart, unified, controls, data, feeds. All these are the libraries that we have used in WebID. Same libraries, I can use it here. You can go to object view.xml file. You can see here. Object view.xml file, default sap.m is a library. If you want, you can add all the required libraries here. Okay, so all the libraries are registered here. It's like old wine in a new bottle. The same WebID, but they're trying to make it as business application studio, which is through cloud environment. But the coding wise, the libraries, everything is same. So let me save it here after adding the libraries. So these are the libraries that are added for our entire app. These libraries are taken from WebID itself. If you want, you can write line by line, spend time, write line by line, test each and every feature. But what I'm trying to do is I want to test all the features at once. If you want, you can test one by one. One feature after another feature, one screen element after another screen element. If you want, you can do like that. But I don't want to waste time, so we'll try to use all the features at once and then we'll test the final application, whether we can experience the same output in BAS tool or not, similar to WebID. So step 4 is now you can open object view, same object view, and create the screen elements. Open object view.xml file and then implement all the screen elements inside header content. Whatever screen elements we have created in WebID, those screen elements, all the screen elements, I'm trying to use it here in object view.xml file as it is. But if you want, you write line by line manually. Check each and every screen element one after the other, and you can build an application like that. But my intention is I don't want to waste time. The same code, I want to test all the features at once. So let me copy all the screen elements from WebID into BAS tool now. Okay, so in my case here, there is icon tab bar. There's a code, right? So icon tab bar, simple form, and simple form contains several screen elements. And not only that, there is a table screen element, and there is microchart, and there is chart screen element, vertical layout, and you can see CRUD operations. For CRUD operations, I'm using a separate form with insert data, update data, delete data buttons. And there is a form for accepting header record, table for accepting item records, and file handling. There is a file uploader for file upload, file download, file preview. We have created 3 buttons. So all the screen elements, whatever we have done in web ID, the same screen element, same code as it is I have taken. Now I want to use it inside Business Application Studio. But in your case, if you want, you can write line by line, test each and every screen element one after the other. So this is a code for all the screen elements, whatever we have used in web ID. The same code, I want to check it in Business Application Studio. This entire icon tab bar with all the screen elements. So here you can see there is a content section, semantic content section. Inside content section, you can utilize your screen elements here. Implement your screen elements code. Or else you can write line by line. You can use control space and you can get the list of options here. For example, text screen element. You can get the properties. Text property. You can write manually. If you want, you can write manually. If you want, you can use input screen element. And you can use value property. So if you want, you can write manually, or you can utilize all the lines, whatever we have done it in web ID. The main point here is you can implement your screen elements code here. Inside content section. So let me utilize all the lines. Icon tab bar, table, form, microchart, list, form for insert, delete, update operations, multi-combo box, multi-input, validations related screen elements. So everything I'm trying to put it here without any change. So all the lines are kept inside object view.xml file in content section. Table, form, list, microchart, chart, multi-input, multi-combo box, static, dynamic, everything. Radio button group. So everything is kept here inside content section. So these are the lines that are part of step 4, all the screen elements, including file uploader. Right, step 5, what you can do is you can open object controller.js file. Implement all the event handlers with various functionalities. Open object controller.js file, implement all event handlers with various functionalities. So we have implemented several event handlers, validations, etc. inside controller. All those event handlers I want to put it now inside Business Application Studio, same like web ID. So let me copy those lines here. You can see submit data event handler. Submit data event handler. You can see edit event handler, capture record event handler, get data event handler, get graph data and go to third view If you create third view, then it will work. Then you can see other event handlers, download data to Excel sheet, and validations, first name last name email ID validation, country validation, salary validation, mobile number, password field, and you can see end date validation. Similarly, upload complete, file upload file download file preview So there are several other event handlers as well. So what all code we have implemented, like insert data for inserting record, insert data update data for updating the data, delete data for deleting the data. So all the event handlers, what all we have done it in WebID, the same event handlers I'm trying to check it in Business Application Studio. If you want, write one by one. In my case, let me put all the lines at once. Insert data, delete data, update data, everything. All the event handlers, we're trying to put it here. So go to object controller here. Object view is associated with object controller. Don't forget that. In object controller, you can scroll down and you can add your event handler here. After the end of the existing event handler, add your event handler. Use comma separator and put all the event handlers similar to WebID and then save it. So you can see here, insert header items, delete data EH. You can see update data EH, insert data EH. Everything is available. Assign record count, file preview, file download, file upload, validations, submit data, etc. Everything is available here. So just go to object view. Object view contains object controller. So implement all its event handlers with various functionalities here. These event handlers are taken from WebID. The same code, we are trying to use it in Business Application Studio. Now what we can do is, if required, this is step 6. Open object controller, once again, .js file, and go to onInit method. In WebID also, in onInit method, we have implemented some code. That code, let us put it here. Go to object controller, onInit method, and implement your initialization code. At the end of existing standard code. So in WebID also, in object controller, we have implemented some initialization code in onInit method. The same code I want to use it here in BAS tool as well. So let me take that code for loading HTML feature, for initializing empty record objects, for displaying HTML feature, and for initializing empty row objects in item data table. So for that, we have written some initialization code. The same code, let me put it here. This code should be in onInit method. This is an initialization code. So go to top section. In top section here, you can see there is onInit method. In BAS tool also, there is onInit method. Go to the end of the existing standard code and you can implement your initialization code here. Okay, so onInit initialization code is implemented here. Let me save it. Right, so next step, we have to implement formatter functions also. In WebID, we have used several formatter functions. So let me use that here. That is step 7, I think. You can open formatter.js file. You can implement all the required formatter functions. Open formatter.js file. In BAS tool also, you'll find the same file. So formatter.js file is available. implement all the required formatter functions. So you're already aware of these things. Status double F, image double F, checkbox double F, switch, rating, progress double F, slider, currency, annual salary, color, button color, progress state, full name, list icon, list state, microchart color. So we have used several formatter functions. The same formatter functions, I want to use it inside Web ID. The same Web ID code, I'm trying to use it inside Business Application Studio. So let me go to formatter file here. Let me go to formatter file. You can see this formatter.js file. If you want, you can write one line by line, one by one, but let me put all the formatters here as it is. Use comma separator at the end of last function. That means at the end of last formatter function, add comma separator. Then place your formatter functions here. Very simple. Okay, let me copy those things and then save it. So open formatter.js file, implement all the required formatter functions. So that is step 7. There is no change in the code. Whatever code we have implemented in Web ID, the same thing we are trying to put it in Business Application Studio, including formatter functions. Now step 8, I think we have used properties file. In properties file, we maintained key equal to text value pairs. In properties file, we maintained key equal to text value pairs. So let us use the same thing here. Open i1a10.properties file and maintain all the required key equal to text value pairs. So let me do the same thing. Here you can see left side key, right side value. Left side is a key, right side is a value. We maintained these things in properties file earlier. The same lines, let me use it here. Okay, let me go to this. So let me go to this property file. You can see i1a10.properties file. i1a10.properties file, it contains only one thing, that is key equal to text value pairs. So you can place your key equal to text value pairs here. Very simple. So let me paste it. So these are the key equal to text value pairs. For labels, text description, column labels, etc. Okay, so these are the lines that we have used for key equal to text value pairs. Now what we can do is we can go back to manifest.json file. I think this is step 9. Step 9, you can open again manifest.json file and try to include style class. If you want to use CSS, then try this. Otherwise, you can ignore. If you don't want to use CSS file, then you can ignore step 9. I want to use CSS also, so let me include styleclass.css file if required. In resources section, you need to include styleclass.css file if required in resource section. I want to use it, so let me do that here. So there is manifest.json file. in manifest.json file, here you can see there is resource section with CSS with empty block. So what you need to do, just provide ID as well as file name basically. So for that you can use this syntax here. Let me copy that syntax from here. So what you need to do is just add these lines. URI is nothing but file name / styleclass.css. ID, you can provide the same, styleclass.css. ID can be anything, but here the most important is URI. You are going to attach CSS file to our Fiori project by using URI option here. You are registering the CSS file to be loaded at the time of loading Fiori application. So that's the reason why URI is required. The same thing we have done it in WebID also by providing URI and ID. The same thing in resource section, in UI file resource section, we have provided type of the file as CSS, we have provided URI, and we have provided ID. Most important is URI. Provide file name with /. ID can be anything. This we have done it in WebID exactly as it is. We are trying to do it in Business Application Studio. Copy this entire section otherwise. So that is done here. Let me save it. Now the next step is what you need to do. After adding CSS file to resource section in manifest.json file, step 10. This is step 10. You can upload all the required image files which are referred inside your code. Whichever files are referred inside your coding. So those files you can upload to this Fiori project. So that is step 10. Upload all the required image files and other files which are referred inside your code. For that reason, I think you can right click here. Okay, let me say once again. So here there is web app folder. You can right click web app folder and click on upload here. Just right click web app folder and then click on upload. Very simple. And you can upload all the required image files. You can see here. Let me upload all these files, including CSS file. Styleclass.css file is a separate file. So we have written some CSS related properties along with its value. So that file also should be available here. So let us upload all these things. So it will take some time to upload all the files. Okay. Yeah, all the files are getting uploaded. You can see that. Right. So what you need to do here, just right click web app folder and click on upload. Very simple. Click on upload files. Then here you can upload image files, whichever image files you have used in your coding, you can upload those things. If there is any video file, you can upload that. If you referred any video file in your Theory code, then you can upload that video file. If you have used any CSS file, then upload that file as well. Styleclass.css in our case. You can upload your image files referred in your code, upload your video file if it is referred in your coding, and upload styleclass.css file if it is attached with CSS in your coding. Right, so that is step 10, just uploading the files. Now what you can do, step 11, here you can test the application. You can test the application here. What you do is save all the files, just right click your web app folder here. Right click web app folder. And I think there is one option in this version. Let me check. Okay, you can see there is web app folder. When you right click, I think you'll get this. In previous version, it is very difficult, but in this new version of WebID, it's very simple. Just click on preview application here. Right click web app folder of your project, then preview application. So if everything goes fine, then you'll get this start Fiori run. Just select this. There is a box here with a list of options. Just select SAP Fiori run. That is FLP sandbox.html. So here select preview application. And here select start Fiori run option with FLP sandbox. Now we can expect the output if everything goes fine. Right click preview application, and here there is start Fiori run FLP sandbox.html. Select that. It will try to run this entire project. It will load all the files, everything. Now you can see it is trying to open a separate tab, and it will try to load our output screen. So this is our first screen technically. This is SAP Fiori app. This is worklist view. In worklist view, there is a default table, same like what we used to get it in WebID. If you select a record, then it goes to second screen. So in second screen, you can see all the list of options available here, including input fields, everything. The look and feel is slightly different, but the screen elements, everything is loaded here. You are able to get data from backend also here for the screen elements. So technically, you can see there's a form, and you can also apply validations here. Everything will work. Now we are running the application in Business Application Studio. So everything will work, all the features. Same like WebID. For Fiori developer point of view, there is nothing new in WebID. Please remember that. Only connection point of view, there is slightly different. Here we are using Cloud Connector to connect to backend system for OData service consumption. Except that, remaining things are same. You can see all these things. So all the screen elements, everything is same. I click submit button, so that event handler gets triggered here, and you're able to get a success message here. When you click submit button, we are getting a success message, and it is capturing all the values. So there is no change in the code. The output point of view also it is same. The appearance may be different, but overall output behavior remains same. When you click submit, you'll get that. Similarly, here, not only this form, the list output, you can see list is loading collection of records coming from backend via OData service. The list is loaded in BAS tool. So it's working according to our expectation. Not only that list, there is a table. Of course, here I've added some different option to increase and decrease dynamically, but here you can see there is a table. So table also contains the same options here. Table with backend data via OData service, and the formatter functions are also executed here. The formatter functions are also executed, and we are able to get the final table output as well here. If you want to filter the data, you can also filter the data here. For example, country US, salary greater than 70,000. Get data, then you'll get the data for those records. Now, country matching with US, salary greater than 70,000, only 4 records are available. Similarly, if I use country India, salary greater than 40,000, click get data. I'm just using a message. If you want, you can avoid this message. Now you can see country is India, salary greater than 40,000. So those records are displayed here. There are 25 records matching with that criteria. So what all we have done in WebID, all the things will work even here. Form, list, table, validations, filtering. And not only that, you can see there is a microchart here. It's a comparison microchart, so you can get that. Not only microchart output, you can see graphs, that means charts. So chart output is also available here. In this case, it's a column chart. You can select line chart, bar chart, you can make it dynamic here if you want. So that's also available. Now, you can change the chart type dynamically. Not only that, I want to filter the data in charts. In one of the assignment I provided, let me provide, for example, I want to display the records with country US and salary greater than 80,000. Only those records I want to display in the graph. Now you can see there are only 4 records matching with that criteria. Country US, salary greater than 80,000. Only 4 records here in the graph. The graph is also dynamically updated. So if I use country India, salary greater than 40,000, click get data here. Then you can see there are almost like 25 records in this case. So the graph is displaying the output records dynamically based on filters. The filter will work not only on table list, it also works on charts. And the output can be on any chart here, it doesn't matter. Right, not only that, you can see layouts. Not only layouts, you can see HTML feature. If you want to display a HTML video tag, then you can use that. To play video content, you can use HTML video tag here. So that also will work. And similarly, you can see header and items. Accepting header record from form, accepting item records from a table. So there is a header record for simple form with header record, table for item records, and there is insert button. So you can execute this scenario as well. And not only that, you can see there is CRUD operations. CRUD operations. Say suppose I want to insert one new record. For example, 1005. Let me insert that record. For example, this is Kishore Kumar. Country India. Salary, for example, 76,000. So when I click insert button, so now you can see we are getting a success message here. Record inserted successfully. The same thing we have done it in WebID. Same code will work here as well in BAS tool. You can see that. If you want to update the record, for example, country India to US and salary 76,000 to 56,000. And let me click update button. So now you are getting message as record updated successfully. So all database operations will work here. Not only fetching data, you can insert, delete, update data. Everything will work. Now say suppose if I go for file handling, there is a browse option here. File handling, browse option for file uploader, 3 buttons, file upload, file download, file preview, and there is a file preview container in the form of simple form. Let me add one 5554, for example, 5554. Let me browse here. Let me upload one file. For example, video file. Let me upload this file. Let me try what happens. Click on file upload. Okay, now you can see finally we are able to get information. Information means it's a file upload process is completed successfully with this so and so URL. So, but what's the proof? This file is uploaded to backend with this ID. But what's the proof? If you click file download, you should get the same video file because we have uploaded video file. Just click file download. Then you can see it is trying to download that. So it will play that video file without any problem. So the file is uploaded, video file is uploaded to backend, the same video file is downloaded here. So all the features, form, list, table, microcharts, charts, layouts, CRUD operations, HTML features, dealing with multiple records, file handling. It can be PDF file, video file, audio file, it can be anything. So everything will work, including validations. So here, let me write a simple note. Select start query run option with FLP sandbox. Now finally, application will be loaded in browser and you can experience same output in SAP BAS tool, similar to SAP Web ID. Whatever output you have experienced in Web ID, the same output experience you can get it in BAS tool as well. That is what we are trying to do here from the screens. Some appearance is slightly different, but here we are able to get it. It can be form, list, table, charts, microchart, file handling, HTML features, layouts. It can be anything. Ultimately, you can experience the same output in BAS tool, similar to Web ID tool. Now, what about layout editor? Layout editor is also available here. Let me go to that. If you don't want to write the code, I want to use layout editor, then you can go to this object view, for example. Let me go to object view. You can right click this object view and you can also open with layout editor. You can see open with, here there are two options, text editor and layout editor. You can select layout editor here. So when you right click here, you can see when you right click, you are getting an option as open with. When you select open with, you're getting two options in this drop down, text editor and layout editor. By default it is text editor, but if you want, you can open in layout editor. Okay, you can see it is trying to open layout editor. So what all screen elements we have added, everything will be available here as well. This is a preview section. If you go to outline, in outline section, you can see all the screen elements are added here. Inside icon tab bar contains several icon tab filters. Each icon tab filter contains content area, simple form, list, Then there is a table, and then there is microchart. There is chart option here. You can see visualization frame. That is because of charts. You can see all these options. Form, list, form with table, microchart, charts, visualization frame. And you can see, again, there is horizontal layout. And then there is simple form. All the screen elements will be available. You can see table, label, buttons. And then there is a form, and form internally contains. Here you can see input field, file uploader, everything is available here. And the properties will be available right side. For each screen element, properties will be available right side. So you can select anything here and you can experience that. If you want, you can add it directly here. So there's a table. It's maintaining data binding with all the columns. You can see here. Table contains items with column list item. Contains cells, cell contains all the screen elements. By default, I think in this case, we have used input fields. But here you can see column contains column labels also. This is another table, but let me go to this one. This is a table which contains formatter functions also. You can see several screen elements are used. And columns with several column labels, you can see here. If you want, you can right click here and you can add it. Very simple. You can right click this cell section, and if you want, you can add a screen element here. Same like what we used to do in WebID. This layout editor is common for both WebID as well as Business Application Studio. When you click add, you can add your screen element by selecting here from this pop-up. So let me write this note here. Layout editor option is also same for both SAP BAS tool and SAP WebID tool. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Hello students, can you hear me?
Hello sir.
Yeah, what's the doubt?
Doubt means regarding yesterday also I discussed with you. My system, I stuck in the installation of this BAS cloud connector. It's not going to be ahead.
So while adding sub account, when sometimes sub account is not connected.
Yeah.
Sub account is not connected to BTP. It has to connect to BTP cloud environment. Sometimes it will not connect. What you do is try after 2 or 3 days or after 1 week. For me also, it took almost 1 month to connect to that, because that's a trial account. It's a trial account. Sometimes if the BTP is in under maintenance, then they will try to block those connections. SAP makes BTP under maintenance, then BTP will block all sub-account connections from cloud connector. So the only thing that we can do is we can try after some time or after a few days. Try it after a few days or after some time.
Actually, before
this BTP, let me complete. So let me complete so that others also can understand this. So BTP is not in our hands. BTP is managed technically by SAP. We are not managing anything locally here, especially cloud, that is business technology platform. So it's managed by SAP. So if SAP makes that BTP in maintenance, then BTP will block all the sub account connections from cloud connector. You'll get some error. So in that case, if all the connection properties from your side, if everything is right, still you are getting error. That means it is trying to block some connections which are newly created. So try after some time or after some days, then it will work.
Before showing error, but right now, before night I also try. Right now they are showing invalid or missing input. I don't know why they are giving like the region area red color showing. Before it was not like.
There is one solution here. Another solution is like create an account with a different region and add that.
Uh-huh.
Create an account with a different region. I just provided US East VA is one of the region, but you can create an account or a sub account with some other region. Then try that.
Okay, sir. I will do no problem. I will use this one, but I want to ask one thing, if you allow me. So, can you allow me?
Yeah.
In our team, someone is knowing very well regarding this one. If ready to help me, just he will help me. I'll be agree. I have no issue, sir. But just I'm asking
No,
one help
nothing.
in our.
No, I'll be available, right? I'll be available 24/7. You can contact with me. I will be the point